Morning, this is Gracie Opulenza, and you can find out a lot more about me on gracieopulenza.com. I'm doing a series on bullying. I've got already 2 YouTube of 1 hour explaining the history of my. Remember, everybody's bullying story is different. So I want to talk about how my bullying as a child really defined who I was, and how it created my character of being not afraid to do things, not afraid to confront people when they're behaving badly, and that's a lot of people are afraid to confront. I'm not afraid of confrontation. Now the issue here is finding the balance, isn't it? Very much now, especially after COVID, there are absolute nutters on aeroplanes, at airports, when you're travelling. And I travel a lot, so I live a digital nomad lifestyle. So I'm here in Koh Samui, Thailand at the moment. So bullying, let's first of all just recap, and you can have a look at my 2 other videos on bullying. I got bullied as a child in my elementary primary years, and also got bullied in jobs as well by managers. I always get bullied by managers. Managers are always intimidated by me. Why would managers be intimidated? Bullies, you got to think let's talk about bullies in management positions. And I also got bullied at London Fashion Week for men. Again, managerial positions, people right at the top. What did it take for the bullies to get into the position that they're in? And that toxic behaviour will infiltrate amongst organisations, amongst packs. So there's always a leader, isn't it? So for me as a child, there was always one female leader coming at me. Italian, it's a minority. And I was a very fragile child. I was very quiet. I was very timid. I didn't say anything. I was a very fearful child. I wore glasses, different skin, different colour, ate different foods, all Italian cuisines in my lunchbox. So, easy target. Found learning difficult in the classroom because I couldn't speak English. So the bullies, there's always a leader. And why do bullies come at you? And they simply come at you because what did it take for them to get into that position in the first place? Whether they're a child or whether they're a manager. Now, in my grown-up life and in my workplace, only managers have ever bullied me. Why would they do such a thing? Why would managers at London Fashion Week men bully me? Why would managers in PRs in London bully me at London Fashion Week? Why would I was also a teacher, recruiter, managers within that organisation bully me? Because they're threatened. They're not comfortable for the skills and the confidence that I have in my innovation. That's why bullies come at you. They're uncomfortable. People don't like to be exposed. They don't like to be shown up. Not that actions speak louder than words. So through my actions, let's give the example at London Fashion Week men, pioneering interviews with male models, with designers, being very active and proactive on social media. This is way back in 2014 when social media at Fashion Weeks were in its infancy. So I was leading the way. I was innovative and I knew how to do it, and it was very impactful. So clearly the managers from the top weren't liking it because menstylefashion.com, which is my brand, was getting a lot of attention, a lot of views. We were very active on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. They were very much in their infancy, especially at London Fashion Week. Hardly anyone was doing it. So person like me, an entrepreneur, comes in and does their stuff, and then before you know it, you're getting bullied. And you can look at those two videos of what was happening at London Fashion Week as press. You've got to get a proper accreditation, Google Analytics, Google ranking. So in the end, they were saying that I wasn't press. They were saying they, as in the London Fashion Week men organisation, was saying that I didn't get proper accreditation. I was faking my invites. But what it was, and what you got to understand, bullies, what did it take for them to get into the positions that they're in? So clearly, the toxic behaviour that is allowed at London Fashion Week men is purely backstabbing, lying, character defamation, fabrication of just going out of their way to just really make sure that people like me that are very powerful and very influential and innovative, that's what you do. You bully them, and in fashion there's not really a lot of accountability amongst these organisations. I haven't been for a long time, so just to let you know that 90% of people that get bullied in the workplace or in their environment, in their workplace, will leave that job. So I did when I got bullied in the teaching recruitment organisation, and I did also at London Fashion Week. Man, I mean, my goodness, if you're gonna, when you've got staff members representing the British Fashion Council pushing you, when you've got staff members from the British Fashion Council saying that you jump on catwalks, which I don't, when you've got a whole team against you, yeah, it's game over, game out. I did get a lawyer in initially, and I thought, well, go where you're welcome, go where you belong, don't give up, and don't ever let bullies allow you to be intimidated and give up on your God-given dream. So imagine if I gave up on menstylefashion.com. People's rejection are God's redirection. People's rejection are God's redirection. So God clearly wanted me to expand broader in the business for Men's Style Fashion, and that's when I went from 2015, leaving London Fashion Week men, not by choice, because they bullied me. I went into hospitality, so I've reviewed over 400 luxury hotels around the globe. I mean, imagine if I had given up. Imagine if I had allowed them to get in the way of building my brands stronger. Gracie Opulenta, menstylefashion.com. Just put in hotels and you'll lots of articles. So don't give up. Don't let the bullies give up. That's my message today. Don't let any bully make you feel you're worthless, that you're not belong, that don't give them that power to control you. So today's about not giving up. I then went into the luxury car sector. So I've worked with big brands, luxury brands. Imagine if I had have listened to London Fashion Week men, the staff, the PRs, and given up. And I've done, oh my goodness, I don't know how many car reviews, and I love it, and it's fun. And I also pioneered a new concept there of driving the luxury cars to the hotels, combining the two. Why not? Two birds in one stone. No one's really done that before. So I'll say it again. Imagine if I had given up. Today's about don't let bullies give up. Don't let the bullies make you give up. It's a tragedy. The biggest tragedy that anyone does when you get bullied is you walk away from the current toxic managerial positions or environment. And so that's important, not to give up. And that's really important. Never to give up. And so after I got bullied, after I decided that's it, no more London Fashion Week, you guys don't want me, you're nasty, you're cruel, you're liars, you're evil. I'm going to go away and build my brand stronger and differently. People's rejection is God's redirection. So don't let any bullies get in the way of the passion that you have for whatever brand you're bullying. And also look at it as a privilege. Why did the organisation London Fashion Week men bully me? Why did they do such a thing? Status. They were uncomfortable with the impact that I had done there. They were uncomfortable as a newbie coming in and basically really dominating on social media, and therefore growing YouTube views, Facebook views. Men's style fashion was growing. Men's style fashion was getting noticed. That's why they did it. They didn't like how, even though the press was free, they didn't like it that menstylefashion.com was actually an absolute huge social media online force at London Fashion Week men. It was clearly about that. I don't know. This is my perceptive, but it is. Because why would you do such a thing? When you're edifying male models, when you're edifying the events, when you're edifying the men's designers, why would you go out your way to block the very, very press, the very online influencer that's doing a great job for everyone? Don't let the bullies intimidate you and let you shut down and give up on building your brand. That's my message today. And look at it as a privilege. I look at it and think, wow, why would an organisation as powerful as British Fashion Council and PRs at London Fashion Week come after one woman? Just me. It was only me ever there. It's pretty impressive. David versus Goliath. Why did they come after the David, which was me? Because I was killing it. Because I was growing my brand and I was doing things innovative. They just didn't like the attention I was getting. It was excellent. People loved me. Fashion designers were very grateful. It was only the PRs and British Fashion Council staff and British Fashion Council security. They're the only ones that had an issue with it. No one else. Interesting. And those poor designers, they need as much press as they can get. And they lost it once I was out. Other influencers came in, but they weren't a dedicated brand, and they weren't me, and they weren't us, and that's the difference. That's another thing. You are uniquely you. I'm uniquely Gracie Opulenta. No one else can be me, and no one else can come up with my ideas, and no one owns menstylefashion.com except me. So don't let the bullies convince you that you are worthless, that you don't belong, and that you need to give up. Giving up will be the biggest failure of your life. So in 2015, walked away, and I thought, how can I do this differently? Through my experience, I knew that men love fashion through sports stars, so I started sportstylefashion.com, which was amazing. And this was all training ground for me. I had never done anything like this. I'd never interviewed anyone in my life. David Ganti, the supermodel for men in the world, was my first ever interview. Have a look at it. I love it. It's all organic. It's all wrong. I'm interrupting. I'm not being able to control my adrenaline. But basically, instead of going to university, I was just training myself. And that's wonderful. Just all that learning at London Fashion Week men was fantastic for me to then branch out, go into hospitality. I've never reviewed or trained as a person that reviews hotels, so I came up with our own concept. Have a look at that on menstylefashion.com. What is it about hotels that I like? So we came up with that. Then we came up with the concept of, I thought, well, why don't I just drive these luxury cars to these luxury hotels? Because basically that's what a lot of people do. It's all about runway, catwalk, haute couture in the luxury sector, right? Why do you book a 5-star hotel? Why do you go? So imagine if I had have given up because the British Fashion Council and PRs from London Fashion Week were like, bullying me and making up fabricated lies. Imagine, don't let anyone or any organisation, how big it is, get in the way of building a brand. Then I went into lots of different events, Lamar 24-hour racing, Goodwood racing. Men's style fashion is the catalyst of opening many, many doors over the years as press to just to build the brand and do things differently. And the core message of men's style fashion is, and why I created it was, just want to see men dress well. Just want to see men dress well. It's so imperative as a dad, as a father, as a single man, a man that is really, really trying to find his way. And did a lot of things at Savile Row, and Edward Sexton, who just sadly, tragically died this year. Made beautiful suits for Beatles, Mick Jagger, mentored Stella McCartney. So my brand gets me access to unbelievable, beautiful stories. So imagine if I had have given up when the British Fashion Council just basically ousted me out of the event. That's okay, that's your event. But the world is big and the world is beautiful and there are good people. So I also do luxury food. There's so much. I also combine products, travel luggage, jewellery and fashion into the hotel reviews. So it's a runway every time I do it, and I create my own runway. If you have a look at what I did for Ferrari, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, I dress up. It's like going to a fashion week, but it's my show. And that was the beautiful thing that I learned from London Fashion Week. You can create your own runway, your own luxury, your own DNA of what you define as luxury. And I love it because fashion weeks are about trends, and I'm a trend predictor. Always been ahead of the curve in trends, and personal style is so much harder than just looking at something on the catwalk and saying, oh, I'm going to dress like that and that. And very much women in our 50s like me, I've never been a catalyst of like, oh God, that looks amazing on the catwalk, I'm going to replicate it. That's never been me. That's not in my DNA. And it's what you call pre-luxury. So again, today's message is very, very simple. Have a look at my other bullying videos that goes into much more detail of what the British Fashion Council, London Fashion Week men's staff did, security at Fashion Week, how I got bullied as a young child, and how that then really grew the character of who I am. Not afraid of confrontation, 100%. And that's because I got bullied. I know that for sure. I'm not afraid to confront. I'm not afraid to come up to someone and say, that is out of order. Look, why are you behaving like that? I'm not afraid to travel the world. My bullying gave me courage. Courage is not giving up. Courage is walking through situations when you're really scared. Courage is when organisations like the British Fashion Council say, bully you, and you say, how dare you? How dare you? Who gives you the right to tell me how and what I can do? And that's what bullying, turning the bullying around and using that force, those experiences to reprogram the mind and say, I belong, I am worthy, I own menstylefashion.com, and I'm going to grow it the way that I'm going to grow it. People's rejection is God's redirection. Don't flog a dead horse. No use me ever trying to convince the British Fashion Council or the staff or anyone else that I belong there. They didn't want me there. And it's their loss and my gain. I'll say that again. Don't flog a dead horse. Don't go back into the same dog pit or the lion's den or the Daniel's den. Just say, right, this person, these people don't want me, they don't value me, but I am worthy. And I'm going to build my brand the way I'm going to build it. So imagine, like tomorrow I've got an epic luxury 5-star review, one of the top hotel chains in the world. taken me a lot of years to get there. Imagine if I had have given up, if I had allowed those individuals representing British Fashion Council to paralyse my destiny. And that's another thing. God, I'm a Christian and God will always have your destiny there. But you've got to fight for it, you've got to push through it, and you've got to mentally build your mental fitness. And I can tell you one thing again, that if any of those staff members come to me, my goodness, the strength and the character that's been built by those bullies don't want to even come near me. Not talking about physical or verbal abuse. Don't even come near me, because you're messing with the wrong woman. Alright? Remember, I'm not afraid of confrontation, but I'm a lot cleverer and smarter, and I know exactly how I'd play it differently. So through that experience, I then use those experiences to protect myself in other organisations, that I'm always well covered and protected. That's a really, really important thing. Don't walk in big events on your own. That's my other eyes. I was always walking in London Fashion Week on my own. Big mistake. No one there to protect me. Physically, mentally. No one to step in and say, hey, back off. What are you doing? Keep your hands off. So these are things that I've learnt, because I'm a really caring and nice person, and I was shocked. And I really shocked, mortified, disgusted that an organisation would do that after everything I'd done. But remember, no one's always going to celebrate your success. So bullies are never going to celebrate your success. Bullies are not going to make you welcome. Bullies are not going to encourage you to move on and not give up. Bullies are not going to celebrate your success. They're not going to encourage you to build your brand. You can understand that. Envy, jealousy, spitefulness, liars. And it's these Daniel in the lion's den that has made my character today. Me bullying as a child has made the character that I am today. Anyway, I'm going. Too many people in the pool. Ciao.